I'm Tom. Welcome to Rich Tuesday. Recently, my life changed and I wasn't really prepared for it. You spend 20 years as a parent being needed pretty much constantly. Every day there's something, a ride, a reminder, a problem, a decision. And then one day, it doesn't just stop, it just fades. Not all at once, but enough that you notice. And when you do, you realize something that's both beautiful and heartbreaking. They don't need you, at least not in the same way. For most of their lives, your role is clear, right? Protector, educator, the backup system for everything that could go wrong. You're the one who remembers what they forget. You schedule the appointments. You remind them about deadlines. You just notice when something is off. You are constantly filling the gaps. And you get so used to that role that you don't even question it. And you don't prepare for it when it ends. Because it doesn't really feel like a phase, does it? It just feels like who you are at the time. In my case, it didn't happen slowly. It happened all at once. All three kids moved out the same year. And they weren't ready. Nope, not even close. But here's what I already knew and I didn't want to admit. There are parts of becoming an adult for your kids that can't happen until they're on their own. You can teach a lot as a parent, values, work ethic, right and wrong. But there's a whole category of life. It doesn't click until you're on your own. Things like just managing your time, taking care of your space, remembering the small, boring responsibilities like checking your email, making your own appointments, or keeping food from going bad in the fridge. All the tiny, invisible systems that make adult life work. All the things you've always done for them. Even when you try not to, right? You remind, you nudge, you quietly prevent consequences. Because let's face it, that's what we parents do. But when they move out, that changes overnight. The safety net, it disappears. And now, life becomes a teacher. And life is not as patient as we are. It doesn't remind, it doesn't warn, and it certainly doesn't soften the blow. It just delivers the consequences. And that's the part that's hard to watch because you know exactly how unprepared they actually are. You can see the mistakes coming. You know the cost. And everything in you wants to step in to fix it, to protect them. But you don't, because you also know this is the only way. There's no shortcut. As long as they have your safety net, they don't fully arrive, not completely. So you step back, not because you want to, just because you have to. My middle kid has always struggled the most. Daily life stuff, structure, consistency, follow through. And it's not because he didn't care, but because it's genuinely harder for him. So for years, I was involved in everything, reminding, checking, helping him stay on track. Then something changed. He enrolled in a massage therapy program. And without me, he showed up every day. He did the work. He passed the tests. And then he went on to complete 120 hours of internship. And all of it, no reminders, no nagging, and no backup system from me, just him. And when you see that happen, it's kind of hard to describe what that feels like. Of course, there's pride. There's overwhelming pride because you know what it took. You know how hard that was for him. But there's something else too, relief, deep, quiet relief. Because when you raise a kid who struggles like that, you carry fear. Not just surface level worry either, something deeper. A question you don't always say out loud because it's scary. Will he be okay? Will he be able to function in a world that doesn't slow down for anyone? And in that moment, for the first time, it felt like maybe the answer is yes for him. And even then, when you see that, it's not clean. It's not just pride and relief. There's still doubt. There's still questions. Can he sustain it? Is it permanent? What happens when things get harder? Because growth doesn't ease uncertainty, does it? And then there's something else. Something I should have seen coming, but I really didn't. As they step up, as they become more capable, you feel a sense of loss. You realize the role you lived in for decades is fading. And they don't call for the small things anymore. They don't need the constant support. And part of you, it misses it. So now you're left with a question. What kind of parent am I now? And I don't think there's a clean answer, at least not yet for me. I'm still here, but it's different. There's just more distance. There's more trust. I'm trying to just be, there, a steady presence, someone who's just available, but not in the way I used to be. And that transition, it isn't easy. It's just inevitable. And of course, the worry doesn't go away. It just changes. It was homework, friends, safety, and now it's all bigger. Relationships, marriage, careers, heartbreak, loss. These things you can't protect them from. These things no parent can fix, really. And that's the real change. I'm not controlling anymore. I'm just watching it unfold. And that's just a bit terrifying. But here's the part I keep coming back to. This is the goal, not to be needed forever, but to raise someone who can stand on their own, who can carry their own life, even when it is hard, and it will be, you know that. And even when you're not there to catch them, right? And when you finally see that happening, when you see them step into that, then it's worth it, all of it, even the part that hurts, because you're not really losing them. You're kind of meeting them again as someone new. And that's just a beautiful thing. If this spoke to you, please subscribe. I will see you in the next one. There's lots more to come. Thank you.